Louisiana Beer Reviews Special Edition Fuller's London Porter Revisited. 11.2 ounce bottle. It's an award-winning ale at a bunch of different competitions. Not the World Beer Cup or Great American Beer Festival, though. The two I'm familiar with, but other ones, other competitions. London's only remaining family-owned brewery, they say on the website. This beer was introduced, what did they say? I can't remember. 1996. It's not that old. The company's been around since 1845. 5.4% alcohol. They use pale crystal brown and chocolate barley malts and Fuggles hops. Of course, product of England. I've had it before. This beer gets such high ratings, like 100 out of 100 on Rate Beer. Outstanding on the Beer Advocate. The bros say world class, the highest possible score, and it's cheap. The beer is not expensive. I can't remember where I bought it. Where did I get this? Maybe Martin Wine Cellar. Look, I paid $9.99 for that 500 milliliter bottle of Goose Island Bourbon County brand stout. And I'm not complaining. I loved it. It's world class. But this shows you right here that you can get a world class beer for a fraction of the cost. Now, it's about 7:45 a.m. It's rather chilly. It's about 46 degrees. The sun is not quite above that roof line. So, I'm shaking a little bit. Because we don't just get the chill. Like I've told you before, we get the chill and the damp, and it's not real pleasant. Okay. The sun is hitting it there. A beige head. Ooh. This material here picks up any sort of lint. Okay, now with the sun starting to catch it, it's red. It's ruby, right? That direction, it's still getting a little. I'm still getting a little ruby. But man, the head is not super creamy. Now I noticed Fuller says they use the Cyclops rating system, and I was like, Cyclops, what is this? So I clicked on there and I said, and it looked familiar the way they were showing it, and I said, this is the thing that S.A.B. Miller has been using to describe their beers, and it's a simplified method of how does it look, how sweet is it, and how bitter is it. And I like that approach. If you look on there, they'll describe how it looks, and then they'll give the sweetness rating. So many sugar cubes out of 5, and bitterness, so many hop cones out of 5. Okay, so this beer is described as 2.5 hop cones out of 5, so moderately bitter, and 3 sugar cubes out of 5, rather sweet. So I think I'm going to try to start using that because everybody's going to. It seems like everybody's going to that, like the big companies. So, and I guess what they're saying is it's not that complicated. It's beer. It has a certain level of sweetness, a certain level of bitterness. It looks a certain way. Drink it, you'll like it, or you may not like it. And I've noticed that with beer reviews over these 5+ years. Actually, longer than 5 years. I did written reviews, and then I started with the video thing later. And I've noticed over the years, and you'll probably notice this too if you drink thousands of beers, it's almost never an issue of personal preference. That issue is only about whether you like a certain style or a flavor or whatever. That's not it. That's not really the issue of the beer. The main issue is the quality. Does the beer have good or bad quality? And this is a thing I've noticed over the years. People overlook that or they don't grasp it and they have trouble with it. And I've brought up Budweiser before. It's sort of a baseline, something to compare to. The quality with Budweiser is exemplary. I've talked to brewers. For instance, Sunny Day, a brewmaster at Gordon Beer. Ask him, he'll tell you about it. I was talking to him, and he said, yeah, Budweiser is exceptional beer. Good beer, he said. It's made perfect. But the situation is, do you want a super bold flavor or a less bold flavor, right? And that's not a quality issue. That's just a preference issue. Personally, I like Budweiser because I very often enjoy mild beers, easy drinking beers, and crisp lagers. Okay, now, have I had beers that were low quality? Of course. Some, not really any macro beers except Genesee. I find the Genesee beers tend to sometimes lack quality. You can pick up a lot of flaws with those things coming out of Rochester. I've picked up problems with a lot of your bottom feeder beers, like things from Melanie Brewing, like Milwaukee Special Reserve Ice, wretched thing. All these beers at Trader Joe's, like Name Tag, that's coming out of Rochester, horrific beers. The Camo line is exceptionally bad, and some of these Euro brews like Boom or whatever, they're just bad. They're horrible. I mean, they're using obviously cheap ingredients. They taste terrible. They have a bad mouthfeel. It's not a personal preference thing there, like I don't like the style or whatever. It's just that they're made poorly. Now, back to this. It's chocolatey, roasted, creamy, sweet, all those things, right, that they're describing on the website. Same thing. The roasted malt, the sweetness, a fair amount of bitterness to balance it out. The mouthfeel is pretty light. So you look at it and you're thinking, wow, it must be thick, heavy. Now, if you get up close to it, you're going to notice it's not at all thick or heavy. It's easy drinking. I've had porters that were ho-hum, blah. I think Sierra Nevada Porter is really nice. This one is really great. I'm not going to say world class, though. I would say more like outstanding, an A+ porter. I do prefer stouts, but I do love porters. Paul, who does beer examinations with me, he say he prefers porters. A stout anyway is a type of porter, actually. So, but if you see this, buy it and try it. I mean, you're gonna love it. Now, yeah, the Bourbon County Stout, I liked it more because I like stouts more, right? They're both super high quality. Goose Island, they do it great. These people, they do it great. And I heard some people saying, I don't like Goose Island because their wheat ale and the Honkers ale and the Goose IPA, I don't like the Honkers ale is too such and such. But I've drank those beers. They're not low quality at all. They're very high quality. I think the Honkers ale is great. I think the Goose IPA is fantastic. But so that's my main focus. You've probably noticed over the years with Louisiana Beer Reviews is looking at the quality issue. And most beers that you get are very high quality. You just run across some that are not too good. And that's what's fun about looking at it. It's not a big versus small or a any angle on it. It's all about the product. Is it quality? Whether you, and then also, of course, do you personally like it? Whatever. That's the fun thing about it. So, Lazy LA Bon Ton Roulette, outstanding. Keep up the great work, Fullers. And ooh, they're 1845. I love that one so much. Ooh. Need to revisit it. Y'all come on down to Louisiana.